dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. Today, people across the state are celebrating Women Veterans Day, a day meant not to separate women veterans, but to recognize their service and war efforts. Grayson Passmore has more from veterans about what this day means to them.
It just gives me goosebumps and it brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah, I said I was coming no matter what to this one.
As a veteran, it means a lot to me.
History was made in Kentucky Saturday night as a crowd of close to 2,000 people gathered in the Bluegrass Airport to welcome home the first all-woman honor flight. A way to give veterans the recognition for their service they deserve.
It's very wonderful to spend the day with all of the other female veterans and hear their stories and just so many female veterans from Kentucky. It was amazing.
Navy veteran Davina Warner joined more than 130 other women veterans flying to D.C. and back. Across the nation, there are almost 2 million women veterans. And as of June 12, 2018, 14 states celebrate Women's Veterans Day, including Kentucky.
It is quite the opposite from when we came home from Vietnam. It's a very good thing to see people respecting veterans because being in the service is a challenge.
And it's been an even greater challenge for women in the service to gain the recognition they deserve.
During World War II, we had female pilots. There were 2,000 or 3,000 of them.
Even then, it wasn't until President Harry Truman signed the Women's Armed Services Integration Act on June 12, 1948, finally granting women the right to serve as permanent members of the armed forces. And 70 years later, Women's Veterans Day finally begins to be celebrated.
It was just so wonderful to see how many people here in the Commonwealth were supportive of those female veterans.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
Governor Andy Beshear tweeted out on Women Veterans Day, "Let us honor the tremendous sacrifices our women in uniform have made today and every day." Officials with the Whitley County Sheriff's Department are asking for help in finding a stolen trailer. Officers say the trailer was believed to be stolen around 2:30 p.m. on Sunday from Greenland Baptist Church. Police are looking for a dark-colored Chevy truck with a camper top and a blue van connected to the theft. The cars were last seen on the Cumberland Falls Highway going towards Corbin. If you got any information, you can call the Whitley County Sheriff's Department at 606-549-6006. Police have revealed the identity of the man killed in a motorcycle crash in Carter County yesterday. Troopers say 62-year-old Thomas Higgins from Alabama died after a deer ran into the road and hit the motorcycle. Higgins lost control and crashed into the guardrail. It happened just after 3 p.m. near the 161 mile marker of I-64 West near Olive Hill. Troopers say the impact sent Higgins into the road where he died from his injuries. He was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. It's been almost 3 years since Louisville mother Andreanable was last seen alive, but the search hasn't stopped. Her family spent the weekend working with the Community United effort, searching for any sign of her. They brought in a dozen cadaver dogs to search 12 specific areas over Saturday and Sunday. The goal of the weekend-long look is to have areas cleared so the Nables don't have to worry about them anymore. Throughout the years, they've had their speculations.
I think she was able to reach somebody she knew and went off into the darkness and something awful happened.
Anyone with information is asked to call the LMPD. The Supreme Court could be poised to overturn Roe v. Wade as soon as tomorrow. The High Court updated its calendar Thursday to indicate decisions would be handed down Monday and Wednesday of the coming week. Justices have 29 opinions remaining to be delivered in the next month before its traditional summer break. A leaked draft opinion indicates that 5 justices were ready to wipe away the 50-year-old precedent set by Roe v. Wade.
A mild and muggy overnight is expected across the mountains. Here is a live look over at I-75 in Mount Vernon. All is quiet at the moment and temperatures across the board in the low and middle 70s. 74 in Pikeville, 77 in Jackson, and 78 over in London. Not only is it warm, but it is muggy as you walk out the door tonight. Dew point in the upper 60s and lower 70s. That means a lot of moisture is in the air tonight. But up on Pinpoint Doppler, we are dry at this moment. However, a few showers are possible as we go into the overnight hours. Low temperatures only falling into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Also watching out for a few areas of patchy fog as we go into tonight. I have your complete forecast plus a big warm up on the way by next week coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thank you, Cameron. With the weather warming up, more people will be spending time outdoors, which can increase the risk of encountering wildlife or even them encountering you. And having a run-in with one creature in particular may leave many wanting to slither out of their skin. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to those with the Kentucky Reptile Zoo about how you should approach snakes when you're out and about and what to do if they approach you.
When going out on a trail or even walking through your backyard, this little guy could be lurking around.
Having snakes around is great for the environment. They need to be there, but us being aware of them can also help to understand those things, but to treat the snakes with respect. And in treating them with respect, you end up having fewer accidents and less problems for people too.
Those with the Kentucky Reptile Zoo say if you encounter a snake while outdoors, it is best to leave it alone.
If you get too close to it, that's when both parties have a problem.
Zookeeper Brock Moyer says even when you are in your yard, it is important to be aware of all of the places that snakes could be hiding to avoid any accidents from happening.
If you have something sitting out in the yard, if you have wood, or if there's some branches, some even like dog bowls or whatever it is, they'll use it for cover because they're looking for a safe place to go.
Zookeeper Kat Dale says even if you are unaware of the different types of snakes native to our region and you happen to get bitten, you should always treat the situation as though the snake is venomous.
If it is venomous or you think so, the only thing to do is to go to a hospital. If it is venomous and requires antivenom, that would be the only treatment to stop the venom, and a hospital is the place that would have that.
Helping to keep everyone informed on the do's and don'ts of dealing with snakes this season. In Slade, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Those with the Kentucky Reptile Zoo that add that if you have snakes inside your home, it's best to contact someone who can relocate the snake, or you could even contact the Reptile Zoo to assist. A local food truck is combining a cookout favorite with some strange toppings. Weird As Hot Dog serves crazy concoctions across the region. And owner Richard Burchett says it gives folks throughout the region an opportunity to have fun with their food and have a new experience. Hot dogs like the Big Marsh, the Serial Killer, and a PB&J hot dog are just some of the odd combos Burchett has come up with, and he says all of them are inspired firstly by taste and secondly by his inner child.
But yeah, you could talk to my mother and she'd probably say that, you know, that boy mixed everything in the world together when he was a child. And, you know, that kind of followed me through adult. I just never gave up on that because, you know, I'm a big kid at heart, you know what I mean? I've always kind of keeps me feel like I'm younger than I am.
Burchett says you can follow the food truck's Facebook page to find out when and where he'll be set up throughout the summer. This summer, cities around the country are facing a critical shortage of lifeguards. The once coveted summer job is suddenly out of style. The American Lifeguard Association warns a third to nearly half of the nation's 300,000 public pools are expected to be impacted, prompting closures, delayed openings, and reduced hours. Jimmy Davis is the director of aquatics for Palm Beach County, Florida. They're short about 30% of summer employees.
To be able to conduct as many swim lessons as we normally do, and that has a direct impact on the community and could potentially affect the number of drownings that we see in our community.
What's driving the shortage? Things changed during the pandemic. Lifeguards have to go through certification classes, and pay is a big factor. It can range from $10 to $15 an hour in many places. So in a tight job market, there are better paying, more flexible options. Coming up at 11, we take a look at the best ways to stay safe during this heat wave.
And record heat is possible by the middle of the work week. I have your full forecast coming up.